Guess we'll still have Bedsy on, just no courtesy call.
Yep. Welcome in to the DNVR Avalanche post-game show live from the Toyota Winners Lounge, powered by your Front Range Toyota dealerships and presented by Bet365. We got J-Mike, we got Rudo coming to you as the Avs win over the Tampa Bay Lightning 3-2. Victor Olofsson goes off for 2 goals. Fun game. A good amount to talk about, I think. We'll get into all of it, but maybe the funnest part of this game is, regardless of other team results, this win guarantees the Avs stay at the top of the NHL today. Pretty good.
Winning is more fun than losing. That's my scientific conclusion after joining the beat over the last year.
Brilliant mind to get to that conclusion, for sure.
No, that was a fun game, though, man.
It was. I don't think the Avs were perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but those were 2 good teams going at each other, and the Avs got the better of it tonight.
Yeah, I mean, that was really everything you could ask for in a hockey game. I mean, you got 2 competitors going at it, 2 great teams. We didn't have to deal with the stress of overtime, which
is nice.
Got a little sweaty there the last couple of minutes.
It was. It was dangerous.
A little chaotic once they pulled Vasilevsky there, but not 100% sure I said that right, but I think I did.
Yeah, you were right.
The hockey names are... I'm getting there. We're
tough.
getting there.
Some of them are tough. I still get them wrong all the time, so I can't talk. Let's do our 60-second rundown here to get jumped into this one. First period, Avs really did start pretty slow. It felt like it took some time to warm up into this game. They do give up a goal early, a bad turnover from Cale ends up on Kucherov's stick, who finishes it. Not too surprising there. But the Avs power play looks pretty darn good in the first period. Their second time of asking, they get one to go in the back of the net. A nice play by McKinnon feeds Olofsson, who ultimately finishes it. It's 1-1 after 1. You feel like you're in a good spot there. The second period, again, maybe started slow, but this is more like 2 minutes of slow instead of 8. And then the Avs kind of just took over that period and said, we're the boss here. We're going to run this thing out. Some fortunate bounces lead to a second Olofsson goal, and then Ross Colton with a good finish off a spring from Sam Malinsky puts the Avs up 3-1, and they're in the driver's seat heading into the third. Didn't love the start of the third. Avs take a penalty, they kill, but shortly after, they give up a goal to Braden Point off a sick backhand, but that would be the last goal of the game, so the Avs close it out 3-2 and get the dub.
Nicely done.
Timed that one pretty well.
That's a man who's been through this before.
Hey, look, I don't mind watching the Avs beat Tampa ever. Definitely some good memories there.
Nice vibes. Nice little flashback.
Yeah, I mean, John Cooper complaining just as much as always in this game. So
felt just like the cup all over again.
Right, exactly. Wasn't willing to challenge, though. Didn't really have his heart in it in those complaints. So
it is late, as we said pregame. It's late. They got to get back to Florida. Although, I mean, I don't know if anybody is dying to get back to Tampa. No disrespect to any of our Avs fam that might be out in Tampa. You're better than Orlando. It's a better city than Orlando. You've got that going for you. It's not Disney's armpit. The Holiday Inns there don't have bloodstains on the sheets, but I'm just playing. No, it was a pretty complete performance, I feel like. I know the starts really in all 3 periods were a little bit sluggish, kind of had to play your way into it in all 3, but I mean, especially 5v5, like the Avs were so clearly the better team tonight.
Yeah, I think the numbers are interesting at 5v5, actually. I did want to get into them. First period, not great. The Avs were outshot, not by a significant margin, But where the first period was really concerned, high danger chances 0-4 in the first period in Tampa's favor. Some of that is the slowness from the Avs, and the Avs really only generated on the power play in the first. But the response from the Avs in the second period is what you love to see. They're ultimately out-attempted in the period, but the Avs outshot them 10-6, outscoring chanced them 14-10. And most importantly, in the second period, high danger chances 10-2 in the Avs' favor.
Felt like they flipped a switch.
Yep.
All of a sudden they're crashing the net. Obviously, Olofsson's first goal, kind of a product of being in the right place at the right time.
For sure.
But it felt like there was a switch with this team where all of a sudden it's like, all right, enough of this. Like, let's get it going here.
Tampa had 8 high danger chances in the game. The Avs had 10 in the second period. That's the difference. At 5-on-5, the Avs did what they had to do, and then they played it smart and safe for most of the third period. They did technically out-attempt Tampa, but it was a lot of mid-range stuff. They weren't really doing anything high danger, but they were playing smart hockey and not giving up a ton of high danger either the way, which is what you want to do with the lead. Did what needed to be done in the second and third periods of this game. Really a lot of credit to them there. Also a lot of credit to special teams tonight, but we'll get to that a little bit later.
Yeah, I mean, we mentioned that in the pregame. Special teams didn't want that to be a weak spot, and it wasn't.
Yep.
But the response you saw was really encouraging in that second period.
Yeah, I think something that we've wanted more out of in the Avs in this season so far is, one, the punch back in the first period to get that goal on the power play and say, hey, even if we started slow, we're not losing this period. And then the asserting the style of play you wanted is what happened in the second period of this game, especially the second half of the second period where you watched. Everyone would love to play a full 60, but the way the Tampa Bay Lightning played the first 25 minutes of this game is just not a sustainable brand of hockey. You can't do that for 60 minutes. And the second they started to slip up, the Avs were on top of them.
And that's what I liked too about, how you mentioned they took their foot off the gas a little bit in the third period, but I felt like they read the room appropriately.
Yeah.
Tampa was gassed. They were going to have the last minute effort that you always have when you pull the goalie, but it was a situation where you did everything right. Now don't beat yourself by doing something dumb and put yourself in a bad spot, a sloppy turnover, an unnecessary moment where you're trying to force something. You're in total control. And it just felt like they were like, all right, let's get out of here.
Yep. Intelligent hockey, for sure, is what I would call it. And of course, you would love power play opportunity in the third, put this game away or find a way to get that fourth goal and make your life a little bit easier. But that's not the reality of every night in this league. You're going to have to grind out wins every night in this league. And that's what the Avs did. And they did it in an effective fashion. With the goalie pull, things got a little bit squirrely at times, but really at 5-on-5 in the third period, I had very few issues with the way the Avs played.
Especially, I mean, you got a pretty good game out of Wedgwood. Felt like he was seeing the puck well, good positioning all night.
Avs didn't ask a ton from him, only 24 shots against, and he stops all but 2 of them. And the 2 are a bad turnover to the worst guy on the team. You don't want to give the puck to Kucherov in those dangerous areas ever.
He's
then
good.
Braden Point puts an all-world backhand from the middle of the ice into the back of the net. Like, no goalie on the planet is stopping that. I'm sorry, but...
We talked about it a little bit on the watch-along. Did you feel like Taves was maybe a little lackadaisical on the close out there? I mean, it's a phenomenal shot, great play. You take it in across the blue line, cut all the way across, great touch, great placement. Maybe could have closed out a little more intensely.
I don't think it's laziness or lackadaisical play. I think it's a little bit of a issue with their setup.
The product of...
Makar has the left side, and Taves cheats to the middle of the slot instead of just staying on his right side. And he gets his feet going and his momentum going the opposite way. So as soon as Point cuts across the middle, Taves now has to stop, get going again the other direction.
Yeah.
And he's just a step behind there. Does Taves need to be better there? Yes, but I don't think it was laziness. And also...
It's an incredible shot.
Against 99% of the NHL, Taves is saying, I put him on his backhand and my goalie will make the save.
I mean, you do that 100 times. How many times have you scored?
Exactly.
Twice, maybe?
And anyone else, it's 0. So,
yeah, that was pretty. That's just one where you got to tip your hat.
Right.
I mean, that's incredible play.
Other players are good.
Good teams. Yeah. I mean, they've won 5 straight for a reason.
Exactly.
It's a really good team. High expectations coming in.
Yep. Yeah. you're not going to shut them out that often. You're especially playing your backup and putting yourself in that situation. And the Avs did enough right. Again, don't think they were perfect, but they did enough right to win, and they did.
Did you feel like they found a spark at all from that fight in the first period from Landeskog? Because it kind of felt like they were pretty sleepy up until that moment.
I think they found multiple sparks from Gabe Landeskog tonight. He's one of our 3 stars, so I'll save it for a little bit. We'll get to it in the second period, but absolutely, yes.
I liked that from the captain.
100%. You need leadership against good teams. I think it's more important than, you're playing the San Jose Sharks, and I know the Avs lost this game, but against a team that you're definitively better than, you feel confident in your ability to get the job done. You feel like you can get away with maybe some weak portions of the game in a way that you don't feel like you can get away with against a team like Tampa. And that's where a guy like Gabe Landeskog steps up and says, all right, boys, we need more here.
Well, and especially the timing of it. And again, I know you're going to talk about him when we get into the 3 stars stuff, but
yep,
2-0 wouldn't have been a death sentence or anything that. But it's also not a position you want to be in against a team of that caliber, especially a team like Tampa this year, who's really dictating the pace. They're able to slow things down when they want to. Like that would have fed right into their hand in terms of like pulling the road upset.
Yeah. You're definitely not afraid. The Avs have shown incredible resilience when getting behind, even by multiple goals this year. But boy, how much easier it is to not let those leads stretch out to more than one, to put yourself in a situation where you didn't play a great first period, but you end up tied. And then when you play better, it's not getting yourself back into the game. It's getting a lead and getting to play from ahead.
They haven't let things compound a ton this year.
Yep.
In the moments that they have, it's almost been, I mean, when you're up 5-0, obviously giving up 4 goals in 5 minutes isn't encouraging, but it feels like kind of going back to, I talk about on the Rams show, not all interceptions are the same. Pick 6, obviously, are detrimental. You're going to have sloppy mistakes. As you said earlier, you'd like to play a dominant 60-minute game. That sounds great, but it feels like the Avs aren't having so many of those catastrophic stretches where it's just like, man, they just played awful for 12 minutes and then everything just fell apart.
Yeah, they have not let anything. The closest to things getting out of hand was that Carolina first period, probably.
Yeah.
And even then, they clawed their way all the way back into that game. So the Avs are proving, they have down stretches, but that's fine. Every team has down stretches, especially when your good stretches consistently get you to where you need to be in a game. Comment here from the Toyota chat from Snowy Taco, who says, why was Tampa scrappy in this game? I can tell you why Tampa was scrappy in this game. One, I don't think there's any love lost between these two teams, but the Tampa Bay Lightning were coming into tonight on a 5-game winning streak, and they're exiting tonight outside of the playoffs in the East.
Oof.
Tampa has not put themselves in a situation to really succeed out in the East. And part of that is the East is ridiculous and they don't have a single team under 500. So sucks to be in the East. But Tampa started slow. They needed this winning streak to get themselves back in the picture, and they needed more. They needed tonight. They needed things to continue, and the Avs stopped them. So Tampa coming away frustrated, rightfully so, I think, from this game in that regard.
You felt it start to boil over, too, as the game progressed.
Yep.
A lot of jaw-jacking back and forth, a lot of little skirmishes in between, the breaks in action. It was entertaining. It was good drama. I like that it didn't get out of hand, though. This isn't one where you would have wanted to see guys getting reckless or anything like that.
Anything go crazy, and it didn't. It
turn
was
into
just
90s
chippiness.
hockey.
Yeah, right. They kept it on the level where I didn't have a problem with it, and a really good job by the Avs to engage just the right amount, I think.
Match the energy, but we didn't add gasoline to the fire. Just, we're here for it. We're ready for the smoke. If you want it, if we have to do this, we can.
You will be taking no liberties, but we're also not going to give you anything.
All I kept thinking with Landeskog, I don't remember who he got in the scrap with, but
I can't say his name, dude.
Whatever his name was, he wanted no part of that. That was a situation where you bit off more than you could chew very quickly. Realize, okay, we're doing this.
Actually fighting?
Okay. You're not that guy, pal.
I will grab your jersey and hold on for the ride.
Hold on for dear life. Hope to not get beaten around too bad. Landy landed a shot or two in there. It's not the highlight fight. It's not one we're going to look back on at the end of the year and, oh man, what about?
No, definitely not a crazy fight, but Landy's going to get the win on hockeyfights.com for sure. He had the better of it.
And then passed the eye test.
Yeah.
From a pride standpoint, we all know who walked away.
Yep.
If you're Tampa, you're not walking away bloodied or anything like that. Nah. You don't have to cry yourself to sleep over it, but
I do think that is a sentiment that the Avs are sending, though. Is there, hey,
you've seen it all year.
Yeah, we're not going to take you're hooking, you're chopping, you're whacking Landy up the ice, and Landy just says, if this is what you want, man, we'll go. I'm not going to sit here and take this. You're not going to draw a penalty out of me, but I will throw fists at your face.
There's still a small part of me, and it's total confliction because I love everything about the way that Landy approaches the game. I love his mentality. I think it's so representative of why he's the leader that he is. And also, I'm like, we don't need you in too many scraps, though.
I don't disagree. You definitely would like him to maybe protect his hands a little bit, make sure he stays
like
healthy.
Having you around, man.
Definitely not a trade where you feel like, oh, Landy's in the box for who exactly?
Exactly.
But there are other sides to this that I do want to talk about that we'll talk about on the other side of the break here.
Let's do it. Let me shout out an awesome new partner, the Colorado Soccer Association, the official hub for 65-plus soccer clubs across the state. They offer programs for youth players, adult players, coaches, referees, and families who want to get involved in the game. Kids can kick off their soccer journey as early as the age of 3. I played soccer back in the day. Was not any good.
Rush leagues, baby.
Shout out Rush. Yeah, we probably played at a lot of the same fields. Whether you're playing for fun, competing at the highest level, or exploring a new career in soccer, there's something for everyone. Be part of history with the 2026 World Cup coming to the U.S. and a new NWSL team, the Denver Summit FC joining Colorado. There's never been a more exciting time to play and cheer and be part of the soccer buzz. If you want to get involved, visit coloradosoccer.org to find a club near you and be part of the future of the game.
Tell you what, if you are going to play some soccer, we have another sponsor that is the best place to go get your cleats for it.
Hit up Dick's Sporting Goods. They actually have the lowest price guarantee, the best price guarantee. So if you happen to find a better deal somewhere else, it's going to get thrown out the window because they're going to match it. Stop by your local Dick's Sporting Goods for the hottest apparel and footwear from top brands like Nike, Adidas Originals, Hoka, DNVR, and more. Plus, as Rudo said, score the latest equipment for soccer, for football, for basketball, golf. You can grab all your tailgating essentials. It is the bee's knees. Get your gear fast with free curbside pickup at your nearest store or easy shipping from Dicks.com because every season starts at Dick's.
Ooh, get some DNVR shirts there too. Let's go. You can get them if you're local, at least. If you're in like New Jersey, you're not going to find DNVR gear. Sorry.
Would be a kind of a funny bit, though.
With just all Dicks across the country.
Just have sending everyone.
That would be funny. Second period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast presented by Bet365. Let's get into those 3 stars of the game, as I previously mentioned, with star number 3 being the man, the myth, the legend, Gabe Landeskog. The thing with Gabe tonight is, yes, fight was great. Fight gave the Avs the energy that you wanted. It's an answer to a bell that I don't think I worry about with the Avs. I know they're going to punch back and their lulls are going to be followed by good quality of play, but it does feel like it sometimes takes them a little bit to get that engine started. And in a fight like that for Landy it's time to start now, boys. You don't have to wait. You don't have to find an advantageous moment. You know you can play better in this moment.
Yeah, I feel like the timeliness of it was a big factor in all of this.
Yeah, absolutely. The Avs, I think, at times might struggle to pick their spots when it comes to their physicality. Landy had no trouble picking that spot out. And then beyond that, has a fantastic game. Picks up a secondary assist on the Olofsson's second goal. But more so, what's been so encouraging over the last handful of games from Landeskog is the strength. We watched him just straight up go through a guy in the neutral zone. Should have been a penalty. He gets yanked down and they don't get the call. But those flashes of the guy that Gabe Landeskog used to be, where he's just a monster that cannot be stopped, are starting to come back. I still don't know that the shooting's all the way there. I still think at times the hands might be maybe not quite what you want them to be. But the part of Gabe Landeskog's game that will make him an everyday NHLer are absolutely still there.
the instincts are still there.
Yep.
The ability to read and react, even if it's a half a step slower than it once was, is still there. I mean, he's always been a guy who's been great with his positioning.
Yep.
Unafraid to muck it up in front of the net, do the dirty work, that type of stuff. You still see that. You still see the tenacity.
Yeah.
He's due, though.
He is.
I part of it was just because I wanted to hit the prediction from the pregame show, but God, it felt like he
deserves a goal. He's done the work, and he's put himself in advantageous situations where one's gonna go in soon. It feels similar to where Olofsson was 5 games ago, where it's like, this guy should have 2 or 3 goals by now, and he just hadn't had one.
It wouldn't shock me if 2 weeks from now we're talking about, man, Landy's got 4 goals in the last 3 games.
Straight up. It's coming. It'll get there for him. And part of that is the Avs have found, I think, a lineup that works in their middle 6 with, on the second line, Ross Colton stepping up and being a part of that line. He gets the game-winning goal tonight. Is a little bit fortunate that it goes off the post and then off of Vasilevsky and in. Maybe. But he still springs himself for a breakaway. He's up and being involved in the play in the way the Avs need a guy. If he's going to play on your second line, that's what you need out of him. Quietly on this play, Brock Nelson also picked up a secondary assist for another point for him. It's a great breakout pass from Sam Malinsky, but those plays end up meaning something because Ross Colton put himself in a spot to make this play happen. And on a night where you needed the second line to do effective things for you, they scored the most important goal of the game.
And also, good teams, and I think this is essentially what you're alluding to, so I'm not trying to get too repetitive, but good teams put themselves in position for advantageous breaks by doing the right things. It's a great pass by Sam Malinsky. Yes, there's an element of good fortune that goes your way, both with the way that it ricochets, get the exact perfect angle, get to hit it in stride on top of that. I mean, you could do that 100 times. How many times you're going to be able to do it exactly
Probably
like that?
Not quite perfectly.
Once or twice, maybe.
Yeah, sure.
But that's the result of hard work, and that's the result of hustle. You crash the net. It's not a perfect shot. It's not perfectly placed. I think it maybe crossed the line even before it got hit in. It would have been close. Fortunately, we didn't have to deal with all that in a 5-minute review and then the annoyance that comes with that whole process. But you're going to get good bounces like that when you play with that type of effort.
Yeah. The second line, as constructed, is designed for plays where Ross Cole and Brock Nelson need to finish. And Val Nichushkin too, to some extent, but Val is the bigger body who's better on pucks and can do some more of that dirty work along the boards for you, whereas Nelson and Colton are going to get theirs by shooting. And with Colton especially, I don't think it's unfair to say he's the weakest link of that second line. He's the third best player on that line. So when you're getting it out of him, you've gotten pretty consistent performances out of Val Nichushkin so far this year. Brock Nelson has been on the uptrend over the last 4 or 5 games where you feel like the production is starting to come for him there. And then if you're getting production out of Colton too, great. Your second line can go toe-to-toe with anybody like they did tonight. Tampa's second line is not a walkover. You're trying to go through guys like Cirelli, and they don't give up a lot of stuff, and the Avs earned it.
I feel like in some ways it's maybe human nature too, that when a guy like Ross Colton is out there making that kind of play on you, it just kind of sets in for Tampa of, man, it just might not be our night. And that's not a slight at Ross. That's not trying to diminish his game or in any way. But you expect that type of highlight play from Nathan McKinnon, from Netchus, from any of these guys. Like even Nichushkin, I don't think would be shocking. But when you start getting plays like that and, Olofsson's putting 2 on you, that's one where you look around and it's just like, this really?
And I think, I know we're an Avs podcast, but I want to give Tampa a lot of credit. Yes, McKinnon and Nate just pick up those power play assists, but at 5-on-5, Tampa did a pretty decent job of limiting the danger from the Avs top line. Natchez and McKinnon were not flying around.
Both teams in general.
Yeah, no, I agree. But the Avs top line wasn't amazing tonight. And instead of being like, oh, you need it, your top line's got to figure it out, they need to step up. No, the Avs second and third lines get the job done for them tonight. They can rely on a team like Tampa expending so much focus on stopping your top line that your other weapons came through and got the job done, which, as you mentioned, our first star, clearly Victor Olofsson, 2 goals tonight. Not the 2 prettiest goals of all time. The first one is nice. The power play one is a guy going to the open ice. Nathan McKinnon makes a great play, honestly, to get a stick on that puck for the second time, knock it loose from Vasilevsky, and then Olofsson really shoots it into an open net there. The second one is pure luck. Ross Colton, it was Jack Drury, sorry, he's trying to shoot a puck, fans on it directly to Olofsson across the ice. But important to note that Olofsson is in the right places to make those play happen. I know you mentioned it earlier, but if Olofsson is chilling on the half wall over on the boards,
you don't get that goal.
Right, exactly. He puts himself in the place where if a puck bounces loose, he's there to finish it.
I love how hungry these guys are.
It's fun. It's fun. The Avs want it this year. I'm telling you.
This team's just relentless.
I think there is something to the hunger with the Avs this year. Some of this is, maybe disappointment from last season. Some of this is getting Gabe Landeskog back.
I mean, I've talked about it before, just having it. Obviously, there's so much wrapped up in that Dallas series. When you throw in all the Mikko stuff on top of it, there's just a lot of emotion.
Yep.
And I've been around a lot of highs and lows in a lot of different sports because I've been fortunate to cover a lot of really cool things.
Yep.
But the silence in that locker room post-game was haunting.
Yeah, I believe that for sure.
Even now, when I think about it, it gives me the heebie-jeebies. Oh, man, I felt genuine. It felt like when you walk in the room of somebody who you care about and somebody close to them had just passed away and you're like, oh God, what do I even say? What do I ask?
What do you do? But there's nothing to do but move on and move on with the right mentality, at least when it comes to sports. And that's exactly what the Avs are proving they've done this season.
I mean, it's fueling their fire, no doubt.
Yep. But there's also more than that, right? They're setting an expectation for themselves. It's the Landeskog fight. It's when you need a goal, at times tonight you're looking more at your second and third line than you are your top line because every single player is putting the effort in. Every single player is giving the 105%. And sometimes it doesn't look great, but there's a pretty strong argument that the Avs' third line was their best line tonight.
Production-wise, it's tough to argue.
Yeah, and possession-wise, Jack Drury, very solid tonight. Olofsson, obviously great. Your second line was also good. You look at the fourth line really didn't play very much, as is tradition with Jared Bednar in close games, but your top line was your worst possession line of your top 9. And not that they were bad, but your other guys just came through for you more effectively there, and that's why a guy like Ross Colton is on the top of the 3 stars tonight. I do want to talk about another factor, though, and that is with us filling the stat sheet with Dick's Sporting Goods. Go check out your local Dick's Sporting Goods against DNVR merch. You can get there. The biggest stat of the night to me, as much as I schlepped it off in the pregame, the power play ended up being the difference tonight. The Avs score a big power play goal. They go 1 for 4. Tampa goes 0 for 3. You win the special teams battle by a goal. You win the game by a goal. And the Avs power play, certainly the first 2, really, really good hockey. The first power play was great, deserved better. The second power play they convert on, not by making pretty plays, but by getting a puck to the net and guys crashing the net. The third one and fourth ones weren't as good, with an understanding that the fourth one happens in a game with 5 minutes left and you're just trying to close it out, that killing 2 minutes of time doesn't feel that bad there.
That's what I was going to say. It's technically 1 for 4 on the stat sheet, but really, I mean, it's a power play. They all count. You could have scored there, but the mentality on that one was pretty clear, and kind of going back to what we were saying earlier with smart hockey. I don't think I would have wanted them to try anything too crazy there.
No, I agree. You don't need to take any unnecessary risks at that point in the game, and you get to sit in that situation because your penalty kill was elite today.
They just smothered him.
I know Tampa Bay has not been good on the power play this year, but you're watching the puck go from Kucherov to Point to Cirelli back to Hedman. There's a lot of weapons on that power play, and 2 of the 3 power plays, the Avs barely even let them get set up. I mean, that is the best defense imaginable, is just don't let them play any offense.
Just don't even let them try.
Exactly. And so on a season where it feels like the Avs special teams have been scraping by, tonight it felt like it did the job.
Nice response. Like, you played smart hockey. You didn't let them capitalize on the few opportunities you had.
Yep.
It's tough. It's really, you're looking for things to nitpick over with this performance.
It's absolutely nitpicky tonight. There's a lot of good in this game from the Avalanche. So credit where credit's due.
Let me shout out a couple of partners real quick before we get involved on the next topic. I want to shout out our good friends Fire on the Mountain, Denver's favorite local wing joint. They've got 15 super flavorful, made from scratch sauces from mild to insanely hot and everything in between. They've got an incredible craft beer list. They've got killer cocktails, and they've got great specials like $5 beers on Mondays, plus happy hour all day on Tuesdays. They've got Wagyu beef blend burgers if you're looking for something else. They've got vegan options as well. You love that. Inclusive. Grab $5 pints on Mondays, all day happy hour on Tuesdays, and now they offer delivery from their Wash Park store. Try the best wings in Denver at the DNVR Broncos tailgates, both this Thursday, big Raider game coming up, and as well as the 16th for the Chiefs game. Visit their spots in the Highlands and Wash Park. Check out our friends Fire on the Mountain. And of course, we are brought to you by Coors Light, who encourage you to choose, chill, to rise above. Life's going to test you. It gets tiring. It's going to throw things your way. I-25 traffic's going to be annoying.
I was going to say.
Rudo can't even get out of his neighborhood right now. There are things that are just going to test you on a day-to-day basis, and it's all about how we deal with them. You cuss up a storm, punch a hole in the wall. It's not going to improve anything. Do the little things. Go, get some fresh air, get some sunshine, take some deep breaths. Then when you're chilling, when you're kicked back, when you got the game on, crack open an ice cold Coors Light. It's cold lagered. It's cold packaged. Of course, it's also cold brewed, cold filtered. Make the most out of the time you choose to chill. Choose Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door. Visit CoorsLight.com/DNVR. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado beer.
Help me choose chill a little bit during this game. Third period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast. Really quick. Love the Toyota chat comment from Max Powers there. McCarr blocking those shots felt like a small bit of retribution for giving Cooch a goal early on. A really good note with Cale tonight. Don't think he was particularly good tonight, but when you compare that to his game against the Sharks, where he was actively bad and it did not get better, Cale McCarr found ways to be effective on what wasn't his best night tonight, and that is the key. Every player is going to have off nights. You're not going to be your best every night, but when you're having a bad night, you have to find ways to be able to be a functional NHL player. And McCarr did some of that. He fought through it a little bit, took a stinger off the hand. There were some good plays, some not as good plays. You would love to see him get more involved offensively, but it just hasn't been clicking these last two games. But when you're getting by, when your bad game is getting by, the good will come back. Not worried about it.
The standard is just so impossibly high for him at this point, and it's because he's incredible. Sure. The standard is reasonable based on what we have seen from him with our own eyes. We know what he's capable of. There's a reason that we hold him to this standard in the first place. The touch hasn't quite been there for whatever reason. It's been little things, mishandling the puck, had obviously the bad turnover that allows Tampa to score right off the bat. You don't love that. But when the game's on the line there, puts his body on the line, and two huge blocks. And
you trust him. Even when he makes mistakes, he's the guy going back out there for you. I'm
still going to keep passing to him every time.
Of course.
He's Cale McCarr.
GX, we do have 3 takeovers of the Ball Arena for the DNVR Avalanche this year. The first one, January 10th, is a sweet takeover.
I like it.
Sweets are sick. You're going to want to get in on that one. You can go get yourself signed up for that or the other takeovers online at thednvr.com/events.
I'll get to do it this time.
Yeah, let's go.
I don't have to work. Nick and Bailey can do all the work.
Yeah, you can actually come hang out in the suite with us. Let's go.
I'm like popping in, just like, well, it looks fun in here.
So,
see you guys.
A good time there. We do also have the sound from Jared Bednar postgame. After a brief morning skate talk, he had quite a bit to say in postgame on this one. So let's hear from head coach.
Let's just start a question for Jared. Go ahead, Ryan.
Just sort of overall impressions of that game. Pretty tight defensively against a hot squad.
Yep. I think they played a tight defensive game. I think we battled to try to get there. I don't think, just from talking with our guys, there was a lot of guys sort of fighting to try to find their legs tonight. I don't think we had our best jump, but we played with a real good conscience, and we're committed on the defending side. We just weren't quite as quick on either side of the puck, offensively or defensively. So pretty proud of our guys, because it seemed like it was a little bit of a grind tonight.
Corey? You've had your top 9 forwards for every game, but you made that one switch. I think it's been 5 or 6 games now. What have you liked about that switch in those 2 lines and how they're supporting the top line?
I didn't mind them before I made the switch, and I think they've been pretty good since. So, I think we're all of our lines are playing like to their identity. I think they're playing as a connected group of 3 or 5, depending on who's on the ice, and I think we're seeing good results right now, so no need to switch it. It's overall it's been good committed hockey on the defensive side of it, and all 3 lines are creating some looks on the offensive side of things, and I like to give them some time to work together to find some chemistry. So far, I've been really happy with those guys.
Right.
What was the message that you said to the boys between the first and second periods after the slow start? What was the message you were trying to get across to them? That they're
Yeah, I don't know if it was a real slow start, but I just, I think it was, again, a little bit of a struggle to find our legs. What I liked about the first period is we were getting in and out of our zone pretty good on our breakouts. We had good numbers there, and we also had good numbers on the forecheck. I felt like, that's a good starting point, like for your work ethic on the forecheck to get after him and try to create some turned over pucks so you can play an ozone play. And on the other side of it, you got to be committed to getting 5 guys back right away to get in and out of your zone. And so those are 2 measuring sticks that we kind of look at right away. And it was just, trying to help encourage them to find another gear and stick with it. We knew it wasn't going to be an easy night. It's the best team in the league right now, won 5 in a row, and they've been really stingy on the defensive side of it. So we had to be willing to play a tight game and stay committed to what we wanted to do, and I thought we did that.
Colleen?
Olofsson with the 2 goals tonight, 1 on the power play, 1 on 5-on-5. What does it say about his comfort level and how he's playing with the players that he's playing with?
I think he's doing a great job with the ice time that he's been given. I think like any player, some nights he stands out more than others, but he's got really good detail to his game when it comes to the structure that he plays with, his puck decisions. He's been committed on the checking side of it. We know this is a guy that can shoot and he can score. He knows how to score, and he seems like he's getting a little confidence. So they put up some goals here recently, and tonight he has a big night for us again, which helps get us the win. So I think from a player that we signed late in the off season, he's kind of been exactly what we were looking for.
D-Mac?
Wedgwood's been playing so well, but you obviously want to bring along Blackwood as well. What will go into that in terms of having Mackenzie good to go, and what will you use in terms of evaluation to who to go to when?
Yeah, good question. Because I just talked with with Blackie about this morning. Like, he hasn't had a lot of practice. I could have easily went to Blackwood today, right? But Wedge has been playing good. He's built. I have a lot of confidence in his game right now. Team's playing well in front of him, so I want to see Blackie, look sharp in practice. Make sure his focus is there. He's been lacking the 5-on-5 type game-like situations because we haven't practiced a lot. Was hoping to get a bunch of practice in this week. We'll get some, and we'll get our guys some rest so we're fresh going into a back-to-back. And then we'll just evaluate his games and see how it goes. He's going to play a lot of hockey here yet. It's a long season, so I'm not in a rush, but he's also missed a lot, and I want to get him up to speed and playing. So there'll be a little bit of give and take there.
Corey? Was that a game where you were glad to have your captain back? Would you like to have him for every game, but it felt like that was a captain?
Yeah, he was great. I thought, he got a couple days rest here. We kept him off the ice, and that was one of the most energized games he played. It's a battle for him still, to to get to the top of his game, but when we give him rest, like it's a lot of hockey in a short period of time, especially this year with the schedule. So when we get him the rest, he seems to be even playing better. His competitiveness and his commitment to our team and the detail that he plays with has been there every game, and I think the more rest we can give him and the more games he gets, his game's just going to keep coming. So I'm really proud of him, being able to play every day, be able to practice all the time. I kind of have to force him into most of those days off, and it was a pretty good example tonight. He played really good tonight. Engaged, physical, gets in a fight. He's all, he's doing all the little things to help our team win.
Last two, Megan, then Eric.
Every once in a while, Cale's on the wrong side of an honest mistake, and it doesn't happen often, but what stands out to you about significant in the way that he responds to those mistakes?
Yeah, I think he's going to make an impact on the game, right? And he's real aware, like when it comes to mistakes he makes, he's hard on himself, probably harder on himself than I'm ever going to be on him, which is a sign of like a real true competitor. I think part of it too is just being able to turn the page and not dwell on it and go do the things that you do well right after you make a mistake like that, and he's doing the right thing on that play, and we probably would have covered up if anyone even knew where the puck went. It seemed like all of our guys were still going the way he was rimming it and ended up back, including Wedge, right? So it's a little bit of an unlucky bounce. It's going to happen, but even if it was a glaring mistake and he knows he was doing something wrong, I think for all of our players, we're just like, move on. We're on to the next shift, the next play. That's our message as a staff. Don't dwell on it. Let's just go win the next shift and focus on what's right in front of you.
Finish with Eric.
You kind of mentioned he will still have an impact on the game. It didn't feel like he had the best game leading up to that block at the end. Just kind of elaborate on his impact, and also just to follow up, is he okay after that block?
Cale's?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's fine. I haven't heard anything. I think I'm going to group him in with the rest of our team. Like, again, I'm going to say it was a little bit of a struggle. Give Tampa credit. They're a tough checking team. They got some big bodies around the front of the net. I look at our game. There's no way we were as dangerous tonight as most of the games we played this year. I think some of our checking, like we were working to do the right things. We were just a tad slow, which opened some things up for them. A highly skilled team. Our pace just seemed down a little bit. So I think it was a struggle for a lot of guys. I think a lot of guys didn't maybe have the, from a viewer, the type of impact that they've had on most nights this year. But you got to try and win games like that too when you don't have all your energy. So hence we'll adjust our schedule for the next couple of days and try to get full gas tanks going into the back-to-back this weekend.
Thanks, Jared.
Yeah, thanks.
So, I liked a lot of what Bedsy said there, actually, and I think the most important things that you take away, the Avs just won 3-2 against the hottest team in the NHL on a 5-game win streak, and Jared Bednar comes out of that saying, I don't think we played that good. That's the standard that is set for the Colorado Avalanche. Winning, yeah, you need to do it, but they know they're better than a game that I don't have a ton of problems with the Colorado Avalanche in this game, but Bedsy knows they can play faster, they can play harder. And then you add on top of that what he was saying about Cale, where it's these dudes have a higher standard for themselves than I'm ever going to set for them. That is championship caliber mentality. That is the type of stuff that championship teams do. And when you get that permeating throughout the entire team, which I think the Avs have right now, you start to see some special stuff. And we've seen this over, I don't know how many of you have watched the Michael Jordan documentary, The Last Dance and all of that, but you see that stuff behind the scenes, and some guys don't have it in them. Some guys don't have that championship mentality to go win. Right now, it feels like everybody on the Avs has that mentality.
Oh, 100%. I think it speaks to one of multiple factors that makes Bednar such a terrific coach, is I think he just has such a great read on what makes each of these guys tick and knows when, to push the buttons, when he's got to lay into them a little bit more. He's usually obviously more of a cool, calm, and collected type guy. He's not really a a screamer or anything like that.
No.
But I think he's kind of figured out exactly how to pull the strings when it comes to his top guys. And that's not easy to do, because the thing about really good athletes across all sports is they have some ego. Even the great ones, really good dudes, doesn't mean you're bad. I don't even mean that as a slight, like talking about the Michael Jordan. Like ego is it's part of what drives these guys to be so good in the first place.
I think it's a really good point. And I think it's a little bit easier this year for Jared, actually.
With the captain back.
Yeah, exactly. With McKinnon, sometimes you need to pull some strings. With a guy like Natchez, sometimes you need to pull some strings. You never need to pull any strings for Gabe Landeskog. He knows the score. He knows what he needs. He knows what the team needs. That guy's helping you pull strings more than needing to pull his strings. And I think the same is true to Cale Makar for a certain extent, too. That's not a guy who you need to find motivation to play the right way or do the right things. He's a guy who knows every little detail of the game and which ones he needs to clean up.
Cale's just kind of a hockey robot.
Yeah, straight up, dude.
I mean, I'm not going to pretend and act like I'm best friends with the guy or got to know him super well over, 6 months of being around him last spring and stuff, but didn't very often feel like he was ever super hot or super cold. It was always just kind of hockey.
It's worth reminding, you already mentioned the expectation set for Cale. Cale could play 5 more bad games in a row right now. And by the end of those 5 games, he would still be leading NHL defenseman in points. Like,
it's stupid.
Yeah, right. Like, it's ridiculous how much better he is than everybody else at his position. It's not even close. So Cale wasn't great tonight version of Cale is still a top 1% defenseman.
Get some folks upset in Toronto, Vancouver. And
relax. Quinn Hughes isn't even good this year, all right? Get over it. Adam Fox is the closest competition. Chat, you did get us over 100 likes. We appreciate that very much. We got our Dr. Dubs winner shots here. Always remember to get your medicine from Dr. Dubs. We appreciate y'all. Cheers to another Avalanche win. Throw some Dr. Dubs in chat. On that note, a great time to support us. Become a DNVR Supporters Club member here on YouTube. Help support us directly, obviously, but also gets you access to emojis in the chat and some of the behind-the-scene content we have here at DNVR. If you want to see all of that stuff, it's a good fun time. Or if you really like us, go become a diehard at thednvr.com. I believe Bailey's post-game instant reaction should already be up there, and AJ's Studs and Duds will be up tomorrow morning. So if you want to go get their thoughts on the game, go jump in there. You also get a free shirt with your diehard membership, a bunch of discounts here at the bar, which, by the way, come by, go have a good time, come say hi to us.
Have a burger,
good
chicken
burgers.
Sandwich, something.
I'm down. Are we Forrest Burger? Best burger here, guaranteed. Easy money.
It is pretty solid.
There's a lot of good burgers here, though.
I was gonna say, I don't think I've had a bad burger for.
But yeah, help support us. I love doing what I do, and help us do that. I did want to jump off from Cale Makar too, though. Again, didn't think Cale was as bad as the other night, but maybe not his best game of all time. But when you look at the Avalanche defense tonight, job done by committee.
Mm-hmm.
Avs' 2 best possession defensemen, Josh Manson and Jack Estrand. That's your second and third pairing guys carrying the possession. They weren't giving up anything. And that's important on a night where Cale Makar is taking the hard matchups. Maybe Cale Makar isn't at his best because he's got to try and stop Nikita Kucherov all night. Yeah, it's kind of a hard job. So your second and third pairing had 2 quality guys. Also near the top of the list, Brent Burns, positive possession player. Sam Malinsky goes even and obviously has the big assist on Ross Colton's goal. You, as a defense that it felt like through the first 10 games of the season, you were trying to figure it out, especially after Girard goes down. You have some chaos in the bottom 4 of your D. Tonight, you got it from all 6 of them. They did the job. Taves, I thought, was much, much better. Again, not great possession numbers, playing against Kucherov and Point and those top guys. But when you needed a defensive play, sure, that Point one, you don't love. He had multiple step-ups where he just blows guys up that are trying to cut to the net. Great stick plays that stop the bolts at both the blue line and trying to get to the slot. There's a lot of really good defense from your actual defenders in this game.
Am I crazy in saying it feels like Brett Burns is starting to gel within this system?
Yeah, no, you're not crazy, I should say. I really do think I don't know how much of it even was necessarily gelling with the Avs system and how much of it is him figuring it out with what his body is capable of at this point in his career. He's a half step slower than he's been. And especially through the first 10 games, it felt like that was a problem at times. But I think he's starting to find that middle ground where he can activate when he needs to and step into that space, but he's also not putting himself in situations nearly as often where he's about to get lit on fire. And keeping plays in front of you is half the battle when it comes to defense. If you can give yourself a chance to make a play on a guy, Brent Burns is good enough in this league and wily enough with his veteran presence that he's usually going to make the play.
Feels like the offensive side is ticking more positive as well after, the first 5-6 games. We're sitting here saying like that part of his game might just be gone.
It's come back.
He's not going to light the world on fire, but you're seeing him jump up into the play, a little bit more aggressive shooting the puck.
Yep. And he had that nice finish against Vegas, and that's all you really need. If you can at least be a threat there shooting, good enough as far as I'm concerned. And his ability to make the right passes at the right times in this Avs system has been nice. I do think the way Sam Malinsky's game has evolved this year, and with Brent Burns, the Avs have never really had this much offensive punch from not that their defense wasn't great offensively, but Devon Toews only has 3 points on this season, and that's fine because you're getting it from Burns. You're getting it from Malinsky. You're getting a little bit from Manson. That 6th spot is up in the air, but with Sam Girard, when he comes back, you'll be getting some of that, where it's okay that Toews is maybe more focused on the defensive end of things than it is the actual production, which, by the way, I think he has 3 points in his last 4 games, so that's also been fine post-game 10. The Avs have a defense that I don't think we're there yet, but give it 20 more games and we might be talking about the best defense in the league.
It's a little spicy.
I mean, it helps when you have Cale McCarr at the top of the thing. So.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, I mean, you probably have, 2 of the top 10 defensemen in the NHL?
20 to be safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't hold a knife to my back on it.
Right. But yeah, I think you're right. They're about to be Canada's top pair in February. So
that's crazy.
Pretty good.
Maybe with Blackwood in net, if he ever gets healthy.
The other goalies vying for that position have not been good this year. So yeah, there's a very real possibility.
I've had a weird interest in ever since that became kind of a topic last summer of I really want to see it come to fruition.
Yeah, Binnington has not been very good, and Montembeault in Montreal has been downright awful so far this year. So
it would just be hilarious if you looked up at one point and it's the Avalanche goalie, the top 2 defenders, McKinnon, they're all on the ice at the same time.
Their 1C, their 1D, and their 1G are all from the Avs.
The Avalanche against the world.
Yeah, interesting that they're all from Canada. And then you have Brock Nelson on Team USA, Marty with the Czechs. Lecky should make Team Finland. Landy's already been named captain of Sweden. The Avs are going to have a lot of dudes at the Olympics.
It's going to give us something to talk about.
True. I mean, I'm going to be watching all those games that I can muster. I know they're going to be on at 2 a.m., but that's my time, baby. That's when I do my stuff.
Well, you've got a loyal following. They'll probably be up with you.
Appreciate you. It's 11:30 Denver time, and we have over 200 of you in here still. That's sick. You guys are awesome.
It genuinely is really cool, and I appreciate you guys giving me a chance to come into this little tight-knit Abs community. It's been a lot of fun. And honestly, guys, just from a mental standpoint, I've needed it.
You've done you dirty, buddy.
You go cover CSU football for 10 years and tell me how you're feeling about sports. After that, it's been a brutal existence. Incredibly thankful for what I get to do, but it's been fun to get to follow this team and cover them on a night-to-night basis. And just, I think what's fun about this team too is for as much star power as they have, that the McKinnons and McCarrs of the world are going to be incredible.
Yep.
It's that you kind of tune in every night being like, is this an Olofsson night? Is this what are we getting from Gavin Brindley when he's out there?
Yep.
This team is deep, and they've got a nice balance of young up-and-comers that are fun, that you can root for their development. And some of the guys like Olofsson who are coming in and just, probably a 1-year rental, but finding a way to integrate and mesh so perfectly. It's a really well-constructed roster, and I think you've got to tip your hat to the front office for the way that they've responded and dealt with. I mean, it's not
They're easy to root for right now.
Yeah, it's a fun team. It's built well. Like the vibes are just in a really good place. And I think back to like Thanksgiving last year, and you're still trying to deal with the goalie stuff and Mikko and everything. Like it couldn't be more different, especially coming off of getting that deal done for Marty.
Yeah. Vibes are definitely through the roof right now. It feels good to be an Avs fan in the Avsosphere. You mentioned Brindley. We do have the injury update for the Avalanche. Brindley officially was listed as a concussion. Bednar said he really hasn't had very many symptoms though, so he is listed a day-to-day, and I believe that is for maybe the first time in Avs history legitimate that he'll be back pretty soon. The rest of these are pretty fine. O'Connor sounds like might be a little bit further away still, but Gerard, I think they're starting to expect him back this weekend, so it sounds like he's close.
That'll be huge.
And then Kiviranta's still out for a while, so more time for Gavin Brindley to play once he gets healthy, I guess, with Kivy out.
Thanks, Dr. E.
Yeah, always Dr. E. Even when he's scouting for Toronto, he's still doing the medicals for the Avs. He gotta keep it around somewhere. But no, the Avs have really set themselves up well. In this 10-game stretch, the Avs are 3-1 now. 3-0-1, I should say. Pretty good start to this stretch after going 5-1-4 in the first 10. And there's a reason they're at the top of the NHL when it comes to point totals.
Still just one regular season loss or a regulation?
One regulation loss on the season. I know Utah won today, so the Avs stay just 1 point ahead of them. I did not see the end of the Winnipeg game, but if they lost...
Is Utah sustainable to you?
No. I think Utah's a good team, but they're finishing at way too high of a rate to compare to the offense that they're generating. I do think they will cool off a little bit there. They're fun, though. I think they're probably better than I gave them credit for at the start of the year. And they may well be the third seed if Dallas can't turn it around. But Dallas did win today, so.
I'm still operating under the assumption that Dallas will figure it out.
Yep. They're not this bad for sure.
But if not them, is Utah the biggest threat? And
I don't think so. Utah's big gap is they don't know how to win in the playoffs yet. They don't have that experience. They have a great regular season, awesome, but then they still have a lot to prove. Dallas knows the score when it really matters.
Are we far enough into the season to where if the Avs don't win the division this year, it would feel like a letdown, like an underachievement?
I don't think so. Winnipeg did lose today, so that does count for something. Both Winnipeg and Utah have a game in hand, but if they win that game, they'd still be a point back from the Avalanche.
Kind of forgot about Winnipeg when I started talking about all this.
Yeah, but for what it's worth, points percentage-wise, the Avs are now ahead of Winnipeg. The only team the Avs aren't ahead of, it's even Montreal, who took an overtime loss today, it looks like. So the Avs, by actual points and by points percentage, are the best team in the NHL right now. Given what we've seen from the Avs, I think it would be disappointing if they don't win the Central. But to say, hey, they have to do it from this point, no. That's 1 point is not enough of a gap where you're saying they should absolutely do this.
What about just from a eye test talent gap standpoint? Like you just said, this is the best team in the NHL.
Yeah.
The best team in the NHL should win their division.
I mean, I picked them to win the President's Trophy, and I'm not changing my decision right now. I think they should be able to do that, but we're deep enough into the season to where, hey, I think you feel really good about the Avs. I think a lot of what they're doing at 5-on-5 is sustainable, and you can keep on expecting them to play well there, but there's still 68 games left. You still got to go actually do it.
I don't want to go too far off script here, but what if this team were to not win the division? Mm-hmm. What do you think would be the biggest reason why?
It's not even a power play. I think realistically, if the team were not to win the division this year, you would be looking at something bad has happened in net or injuries.
Injuries are fair to throw out. I mean, that's...
But I really think they should, but I'm not putting them in a spot where they have to do that from here. It's just too early for that for me. I do think we have a couple of super chats to get to here, and then we can wrap up this show. $2 from Ryan, who says, 1-0 in the clean-shaven Rudo era this season. I know, it's all gone. We'll see. If they win a bunch, maybe I'll have to keep shaving it, but I usually just let it grow and then do one big shave.
How many wins in a row do I have to put you on record right now of I will shave again? Because it's normally 2-3 times a year.
Yeah. Let's start by getting to 3. Let's get to a winning streak. If they get to 3, I'll shave, because a winning streak will literally be like a week from now because the Avs are about to have 3 days off. So I will have enough facial hair at that point to shave again. And then if they keep it going, I'll keep it clean.
I've got real beef with these schedule makers in the NHL.
It's kind of crazy right now. The
What are
Avs
we
get
doing?
5 days off.
3 days
out of
off,
6
then back to
days.
back.
Yeah.
You're just who's doing this?
It's a bit silly. It's a bit silly
Playing
at times.
10 p.m. Eastern against Tampa.
I don't even know what to say about that. Like, that's not even like an Avs thing. Like,
No, it's all the networks.
Tampa Bay
and stuff.
watched their team lose at 12:30 at night local for them. Like, that's brutal.
And then they went to bed and they woke up in Tampa.
Tough life.
I'm just going to try and start a grudge with the people at Tampa.
I'm down. Fine. Great.
Why not?
And then $2 from RC, who says, Wedge looked scared all night, but spazzed just right. I don't know that I agree.
I thought he looked sharp.
Yeah. You know, his rebound control is never going to be amazing. That's just who he is.
That's just what I'm accustomed to
Yeah.
now, though. I don't even hold my breath anymore. I'm just used to it.
I don't think he looked scared. I think he was stepping up and a little bit scrambly at times for sure. But look at Tampa's puck movement through this game. They were honestly overpassing at times, but it was a lot of quick puck movement that is going to cause some scrambliness from your goalie.
Maybe some Avalanche to their game at times of like trying to get
That
too
power
cute and
play
look for
with
that
2
perfect
Avalanche
shot
for me.
instead
Yeah,
of just
for sure.
maybe we just get it on net here because we haven't done anything in 15 minutes.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of similarities there, and maybe that's a good mirror for the Colorado Avalanche to look and see the problems Tampa had tonight and go, hey, that looked familiar. Maybe we shouldn't do that too often. I don't know. I think we're good. I'm done. You got anything else, J. Mike?
I guess just what are your thoughts moving forward? Like, we don't design the schedule, that's beside the fact, but just how do you handle this weird next week of not playing 3 days and back to back, especially dealing with the goalie situation and everything? Just where are you at on that?
Yeah, I mean, Bednar said it. Blackwood's going to play a lot. That's just the reality. He's your number one. You got to do that. Bedsy clearly seemed interested in wanting to get some practices in and work on some things. 3 days off, there is zero excuse. You should be fully rested, even with practices. You shouldn't worry about that. Oilers Vancouver is an interesting trip. The Oilers just lost to Dallas in a shootout tonight. If Dallas beat them, you got to match that. I think even with the slow start to the season for Dallas, the Avs are going to use them as a measuring stick at sometimes. And the Oilers are no pushover. Not all that different from tonight's game against Tampa, where that high end is really, really good. Maybe they have some weaknesses you can exploit in goal or otherwise, though. And then the Vancouver game, I mean, back-to-backs are weird. As always, you're going to get what you're going to get out of those. But
If you get 3 points,
if you
2
get 3
points,
points, great. I think you need 2. 2 should be the minimum expectation this weekend. If you get 3 or 4, awesome. You're in a great spot. Again, the Avs have set themselves up great to start this stretch of 10 games. You have 7 points of a possible 8. You'd love to get to 14 every stretch and play 700 hockey like they did in the first 10. That means they need, 3 more wins out of the last 6? Very attainable.
seems doable.
Very attainable. We're going to get out of here on that note. We appreciate all y'all hanging out very late. We will be back tomorrow for an off-day show. I think we'll have a little fun. We'll look at some frauds around the NHL on that one.
Nice.
Should AJ will pop off about the Stars or the Jets or something. We hope to see you there. This has been the DNVR Avalanche podcast presented by Bet365, and we'll see you tomorrow.
We all silly like the mayor.